This is Sodbury or Sodbury in South Gloucestershire. It's an Iron Age fort in Gloucestershire. It's in a strange place in the sense that the Iron Age peoples, the Celtic peoples, the Britons, whatever you want to call them, tended to nearly always built forts that were around a contour that basically used the landscape as a wall itself and then built a wall on top. That gave them double the protection. They haven't done this here. They've got a nice escarpment, which is the Cotswolds edge. This has got the Roman road of the Ridgeway, which was probably older than Roman, right, between the escarpment and the road. And it drops off really steeply, really good defensive position, but the other three edges completely no drop at all. It's just flat, so it's ended up being essentially square. So what that means is that we all think it's Roman. We always have thought of it as Roman, but it isn't. It's Iron Age. The information board thinks that the Romans re-fortified it, which they may very well have done. They're very shrewd and pragmatic people. But it's a peculiar Iron Age fort, and it has an Anglo-Saxon name, an English name, Sodbury, which originally was Sopan Biria, which means Sopper's Barrow, but it's not Anglo-Saxon. So again, on the information board, they said the Anglo-Saxons came here just before the Battle of Durham, which was a crucial. It was the beginning of the end for British Welsh rule of England, and 3 kings were killed. Oh, so that's only Durham's only 3 miles away from here, so it could have been, but I haven't seen the information that declares that to be true. But what evidence is there? But anyway, it is interesting for its square shape. So it's very, very unusual. Now, your classic Briton would have built a promontory fort on a promontory which is just down the road, about a mile south of here. And I was just looking at the topology of the landscape. You can see that they could have made a triangular fort with two edges, with cliff edges, and then a wall on the flat. And that means you can concentrate your forces. It forces your opponents to come at you from only one direction, which gives you tactical advantages. Here they can get attacked from three sides, which means they have to spread out their defences. They spread out the defenders. So it's an interesting place, but it's worthwhile. I wanted to point it out to you because of the Sopanbiria connection. This guy Sopa also not only owned this estate where this is situated, he also owned Sopworth, which is where we're going to be going, which is part of the route of the Bristol Avon, which is what these videos are going to be about. But while we're talking about estates and their boundaries, a parish boundary runs through the middle of Sodbury. So this is the third one I've done where there is an English boundary running through the middle of it. Now, as I said with Uffington, that Margaret Gelling, the place name specialist, thought that it was divided into two and that Uffington Castle was the centre of that estate. Could the same thing be going on here? Or am I right in my, I'm just a humble YouTube hobo, what do I know? But my beliefs, I've seen so many villas on the edges of English parishes, so many barrows on the edges of English parishes, so many antiquities on boundaries, that my suspicion is that the English, the migrants who came across here from Germany and Denmark, they looked on these places as suspicious. I don't think it's fear of the supernatural. It was just to them, I think, it's a load of old junk. This is they'd set back their great hall or whatever they had, their farm, away from these pieces of junk, these things that had the veneer of an older people. I think the fact that the English imposed English upon this island, whereas other people like the Normans didn't impose French on us. They made it the legal language, but everybody else carried on speaking English. Otherwise, we would be speaking French today. So I think there was a degree with the Anglo-Saxons that they wanted to. They had a measure of contempt for the culture that went before them, I think. But whether I'm right or Margaret Gelling, and Margaret Gelling is qualified and I'm just an idiot, is that's to be weighed up by somebody else.